Brad. I'm going to be doing power track. This is going to be an interesting topic of cyberbullying. It's not something that we often maybe think about, or maybe if it affects you, a lot of times it's not something you ever want to think about. It's not maybe something you get embarrassed about or things like that. So what we're going to do is I kind of want us to think about this today in a way of pretend that you have a friend. Okay? You've been at a conference all week, and so I want you to just think through the context that you have a friend or a sibling or somebody who you know is getting picked on online, okay? Getting bullied online, and we'll talk about that. And so look at it that way. So that way, if you're not, that way, you know what I mean? That way you can feel like, and maybe think about how you can address it to a friend. It'll help you if you ever get to that point. I'm guessing a lot of us are in here because we know somebody who's been bullied or harassed online, and we don't know how to help them. Or maybe you're here because this is the room that has the most open seats. Maybe you're here, I don't know why you're here. Or maybe you're here just because it's something that really gets close to home. So we'll try to have as much fun as we can with this topic and have a good time, but we'll make sure that we help things get into the Bible, because I think the Bible helps in all things, and we'll get into that and we'll talk about how to do that. Do I need to talk into a microphone for the recording thing? Okay. All right. So cyberbullying. So times have changed a little bit since I was a teenager. Anybody want to, if you know me, don't tell the answer. Anybody want to guess how old I am?
36.
Okay, 36. Higher or lower? Way higher. Way higher. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Anybody else 36? Go ahead. 52. No, I was just kidding about way higher. 44. I'm 44. Were you close?
I said 41.
Oh, that's good. I did one of those. I did a poll on Facebook one time and said, because based on the way I saw colors, that told me I was 42. So. I'm all good. All right. So things have changed a little bit since I was a teenager. So when I was a teenager, cyberbullying didn't exist because there was no such thing as cyberspace that I know of. So when I was a teenager, but I first started being a teenager in 1986. So how many of you were born in 86? How many of you were born in the 1900s? This is great. Most of you were born since 2000. I remember when 2000s were coming thinking, this is going to be weird. Here's my first thought about the 2000s happening. What are they going to put on graduate, like on jackets, for like Letterman's jackets? Because they always had like 91, 92. Are they going to put double zeros on there or something? That's what they did. So, but back in my day, there was times where I've been part of, I wouldn't say bullying, I'd say bullying. I got bullied by some neighbors. So I grew up on a street where I had friends who were older than me, and I wanted to be like them. Okay, they're all basketball players. They're all athletes. That's what they did, and I thought that's who I want to be. And some of them were really nice to me, but there was one kid who was always giving me a hard time. So when we played basketball, he'd always want to guard me. He'd always want to foul me extra hard. We were playing baseball, wiffle ball we played, just that is plastic ball and plastic bat. When we played football, he was always wanting to tackle me. One time when I was a kid, they're all sitting we had a curbing there on our street, and they were all sitting out there talking about their friends, their girlfriends and stuff. And so I'd walk out there trying to be cool, with my little shorts and stuff, and he would just throw rocks at my legs until I'd leave. So, and I didn't care. Well, I did care, it hurt. But I thought, who's this stupid kid? I'm not leaving. He's not making me leave. I'm tougher than this. And it took a little while, but eventually we stopped. Those things. So I remember that time. So maybe think about a time like that for you. So like I said, we didn't have cyber back then. We didn't have like internet. I mean, I had TV, but we didn't have any cable. It was available, but we lived on a street that didn't have it. I mean, when you wanted to watch a movie, you guys saw it in a theater, and that's it. Okay, if you didn't see it in the theater, you had to wait for it to play on a network TV once in a while. All right, but then I remember another time. There was a kid named Bob, and our moms taught together at the same school. So every day after school, we were always hanging out at the same time. And I would pick on him every day. I would call him names every day. And I got to the point where every day he'd get so mad at me that he would pummel me. And he pummeled me every day after school. But it wasn't his fault. I just kept picking and picking and picking on him. So that's how stupid I was. I thought, I'm just going to pick on somebody because I felt bad about myself or whatever, and so I picked on him, and then he would beat me up. So things are a little bit different then. So those are just a couple little silly thing stories. They weren't silly, they didn't feel silly at the time. Getting punched doesn't feel good. Anybody ever get punched before? Okay, wow, okay. Okay, violence does not solve problems, okay? It makes for good movies, but does not solve problems, okay? All right, so I just want to get you kind of in my mode when I was growing up. So here's how things were back then when I was your age. So I'm just trying to get, so if I get myself in teenage mode, maybe you can identify yourself. But notice there might be some similarities you noticed back whenever I was a kid. So we used to wear these pants called skids. They're one size fits all. You just had a cinch on the thing, you pull tight. So if you were thin, chubby, didn't matter. That's what kind of pants you wore. Okay. And then this guy. Everybody liked Mr. T. And that haircut. So mohawks are kind of back in style, aren't they? If they ever were, maybe. Okay. But look at that guy. He has the beard and everything. So he was cool. So he was in a show called The 18. All right. And then everybody know this guy? I think I've heard the theme song for The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air more this summer than I've ever heard in my entire life. And so when it was probably about 10th grade when Will Smith first moved out to Bel-Air Academy. I even saw someone playing yesterday, playing basketball yesterday with the Will Smith jersey on from the show, Bel-Air Academy shirt on. So, yeah, Will Smith. So, does anybody think they can sing that whole song? Yeah, see, isn't that funny? Why would you know that song? The show ended way before most of you were ever born. So, West Philadelphia, born and raised on the playground. That's where I spent most of my days. Yeah. And there's a couple of neighbors who are up to no good.
Sorry, did you go live in the neighborhood?
You got one little fight, and mom got scared, so she's moving.
Auntie and Uncle in the lair.
So his answer to bullying, getting picked on or scared here was to move. It's a Bel-Air to a rich house. Okay. All right. Anybody know what these shoes are called? Reeboks. Well, thank you. Yeah, that says Reebok right there. But there's something significant about these Reeboks. They're basketball shoes, yes. That's good. So a good observation. They were actually called the Reebok Pump. They were all the rage at one point in the 80s. What you would do is you would pump up that basketball in there and then little air pockets in your shoes that would make your shoes fit better for your feet. I thought they were so cool. I used to get Air Jordans every year. And then the one year I decided to switch to the Reebok Pumps. So the one year of Jordans that I skipped are worth about $3,000. The ones I didn't get, these Reebok Pumps, you can get them online for $30. Okay. And those are the ones I got. I felt so good about myself. Okay. But then there's this guy. Does anybody know who this guy is?
Jordan.
Yes. No, this is not LeBron James. It's Michael Jordan. Okay. So he was really popular back then. And then Michael Jordan kicked off something that caused a craze called these things.
Air Jordan 1, Chicago.
See, you even know what shoes those are. There you go. And so people will still wear these shoes. Have you ever seen people wear these shoes before? Isn't it funny how everybody goes back to the old times? Okay. How about this lady? There's a movie came out this spring called Wonder Woman. Yes, did you like it back then? Do you feel odd as a man saying that you love Wonder Woman? I don't know if I feel good about going to see Wonder Woman. I don't know, does that sound terrible? Like she's like in this like bathing suit all the time, made of armor, running around? Okay, maybe not. Okay, maybe it was creepy. You'll never know. How are these guys? All right. Okay. All right, so I want you to think about something very important right now. We're going to do a multiple choice question. And you're going to think about those four guys. And I want you to think about which one is your favorite. And then we're going to ask you in a second. You can only pick one. Can't be undecided. And don't worry about what your friends think. Do what you want to do. Okay. So just for review, the guy in the red is? Guy, and that's supposed to be purple up there? This guy, no. Okay. All right. What, you guys remember which one really loved pizza the most? Okay, good. Which one was always the smart one coming up with the plan? All right. Who's the leader? Leo, yeah. And who's the rebel? Yeah. Okay, cool. Does anyone have so I want you to think about which favorite. Who would say that Raphael is their favorite Ninja Turtle? Which one? Okay. All right. Why do you like Raphael? Yeah, go ahead. You can just speak out. You don't need to. We can just talk still. Good. You want to go first?
I was just about to say, like, I remember like seeing like the original like movies when I was younger, and and I grew up with that, but I could also tell, like, I was mature for my age, and I could tell that, like, he struggled the most with his feelings and his anger, and I could kind of relate that to other people in my family. So it's kind of just like really relating to the characters that I found more favoritism towards him out of like all of them.
Cool. That's great. All right. How many would say Donatello? Okay. That's about the same number. Why is Donatello your favorite?
Well, I don't really have a reason. He's just cool.
Yeah, he's cool. I think he's like, he always looked pretty smooth, and he had that one stick, right? You know, I'm sure there's some like technical term for it. I just call it a stick because it's brown and it's long and it's made of wood. So I just call it a stick. All right. How many would say Mikey? Oh, wow. Why did you like Mikey, do you think?
Because he was kind of like the fun one that
Yeah.
like, made jokes and kind of like playing in the movies.
Yeah, I kind of liked him because he was like kind of an idiot, you know? That's how I liked him. You know, he's just kind of silly a little bit, you know, telling jokes. Maybe there's another thing about him, there's pizza. I mean, hey, nothing wrong. Has anyone ever had bad pizza before? Yeah. I didn't think there was such thing as bad pizza. Okay, all right. And then how many of you like Leo? All right, so it turned out Mikey was probably the least liked, right? Okay. All right, that's just interesting. Why did you guys like Leo? Anybody?
Because he's the leader.
Because he's the leader. All right, cool. All right, there's a point to all of this. You'll see it in a second. It might not be a good point, but there's a point to it. Okay. You guys know who this is?
No.
Well, if your parents, this is called U2. They're a band called U2. This is their album, The Joshua Trees.
Oh, the one
in
that
the
they
80s. The reason why I put this up there is because this year they're doing like the Joshua Tree tour. Okay, and so it's like it's all you hear about on social media. And I felt left out one day. I felt that wasn't FOMO. It wasn't fear of missing out. I was sad because I missed out. So. Sad because I missed out. Sublimo. Yeah, Sublimo, that would be good. You know, and I missed out. Like, these guys were like pretty popular. All of my friends are my age. You can tell they're my age because they have bad haircuts and extra weight around here. Okay? You know what I mean? And they don't have the best taste in the world, and they're still using Facebook. Okay. That was a little joke about Facebook. I thought it was pretty funny. I didn't get anything for that one. Okay, cool. All right, that's a blank space. But don't worry, I'll write your name. Okay. Okay. Hey, you got to see the screen.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I'll go underneath.
Yeah, just crawl underneath. There's people who'll let you go through.
Sorry.
It's just a camera.
Sorry.
All right, but here's something. Let's go to technology real quick. If I wanted to listen to my tunes, I had to use this. I had this exact Walkman. When I'd cut the grass, and this is how I would listen to music my mom didn't want me to listen to. I would have a cassette tape. And I would hide my cassette tapes, but the only time I like cutting grass is because I could go out there and listen to my Walkman and cut the grass. So when you see a Walkman, is there anything you think of?
Oh man.
Guardians of the Galaxy, me too. Yeah. I think about Guardians of the Galaxy. Okay, so just think about that Walkman. Anybody know what that is? Calculator. Does anybody know any words you can write on a calculator? Hello? You can write hello. It doesn't have to be inappropriate words. Okay? Does anybody? That is a compact disc player. You would have this at home, and you could put a disc in there, a CD, and you put that in there, you slide in there, and that's how you listen to your music. Okay? Does anyone know what this is? Yeah, go ahead. What is that?
Camera.
It's a camera. It's a disposable camera. So what you would do is you would get these cameras. So everybody who went on a field trip, you guys all get matching shirts now when you take your 8th grade trip to DC or something like that. But they would have, everybody would have these cameras. And so it's momentum like this. You carry around these ones. They're made out of paper, and you would just take pictures and then snap another one. There was no display on the back. You didn't know if it was a good picture or not. It was nothing digital. They just had film in there. And then when you were done with it, you would turn the whole thing in. You just drop it in an envelope, and they would develop film. And you get your pictures. So like a week or so later, you'd find out what your friends, if you took any good pictures of them. It's good.
Game Boy.
Anybody know what game that is on the Game Boy? Tetris. Yeah, okay, good. Okay, now some of you won't know what this is.
Radio.
Now there is a radio on there. It looks like a radio, but it's actually a portable TV.
I have one.
Yeah. You can put batteries in there and it lasts maybe half an hour. It is a brick. But that was cell phone. It wasn't that big, but it was close. That's almost life size. All right. The reason why I wanted to bring all this up. Look at all those things that you had to do for your entertainment. Could you imagine? So if you wanted to listen to your music, you'd either need your Walkman, and if you didn't have batteries, and then later when you got cool, you bought a CD player. And then you actually had those portable CD players. One of those up there. If you wanted to add up your all of your whatever it was. You'd add up or multiply or whatever. You'd use your calculator. And if you wanted to play video games when you were bored of the car, you'd have to have your Game Boy. These all took, I took a lot of double-A batteries. So right there, you're probably only talking about $100 worth of batteries you'd need for a car ride. If you want to take pictures, you'd have to take your quick snap flash or Fuji color film thing. If you wanted to watch TV on the road, you'd have to take that thing. And then if you wanted to talk to your friends on the road, you'd have to use your parents' cell phone. So that's a lot of stuff. And the reason why it's all different now is a lot of things are similar, but you guys have that all in one thing now.
iPhone 6.
Think about it. You could, listen, last night with your iPhone, what you want to do, if you want to take pictures, got it. Snap, snap, snap. You just take them all, right? As many as you want. And so it says storage, full. Settings. You want to play Tetris? You can find an app, right? Play Tetris on it. Your calculator, come on. You slide up, right? It's right there. The camera or the TV. You can stream Rogue One last night off Netflix, right? You streamed it all night. It's on Netflix now, so you don't need it. But YouTube, right? Okay. Walkman, you have your music right there. Spotify, you can listen to whatever you want. In fact, you can listen to all the same music I listened to as a kid. Back when I needed to buy music, back in my day, you'd go to the record store and you'd buy a CD for $16 or $13 and you'd have to buy the whole thing just to get that one song that you liked. Because you didn't know if you liked any of the other ones because you only heard the one song on the radio. But you guys have it all there now. But what you have that's on there now that I didn't back then is why we're talking today. You have a way on there to be connected with people 24/7 where you can use whatever apps you use on your phone to connect with people from all around the world. And you can do stuff on there that nobody even knows about, right? You can hide on there. You can make Instagrams, right? You have fake Instagram accounts, and you can pretend to be someone who you're not. You can get on there. You can make Facebook's got a weird program on there and stuff, maybe, but you can use your Twitter page. And you can go on there and you can search things by looking at hashtags and search for things from all over the place. You can go on your Instagram and you should just go to explore and just scroll for days and days and days and see what there is that's happening out there in the world. You guys can do all of that. Then you can connect with all kinds of people. You could have met someone here this week. Hello. How are you doing? You see them across the room and they just happen to sit by you in the cafeteria. And you're like, whoa, I waited 6 hours in line for another piece of pizza. But at least I get to sit with you. So that's good, right? Back in my day, when I was in Tennessee, you met somebody, guess what I had to do? I met somebody from another state one time. Wrote them letters. So, in about a month, I heard back from them. It actually went through the mail, but that's how long. So all that you had to remember a person was a picture that you hope turned out, on your Fuji color film. Okay, you're like, I hope this picture turns out. And then you get letters. You get their address and actually would write them letters. You guys, it's like, okay, what's your Instagram thing? Where are you in there? You guys are talking to each other even last night, maybe. In your room. Hi. Hey. How are you? Good. HBU? Question mark? Good. So what? WYA? WYA? Where are you at? You guys are going back and forth with all that stuff. Well, that's all fun stuff. So it's a good way to get you connected, make new friends and all that stuff. You can go home and you can make you have a fake girlfriend here, momentum, and tell all your friends at school when you go back and say, hey, listen, this summer I met this girl. She really likes me, but we said it's too far of a distance. So you can make up all kinds of lies, right? It's fun. But the bad thing is you can also use it in a way for not so good purposes, right? And so if you want to have fun sometime, just scroll through the Momentum app. Okay? You can see there's good things, so something that's started as a good thing, right? So probably someone said, I don't know why they have the Momentum app. I don't know why they have the activity stream on there. But someone probably said, you know what? What must be swell? if we got all these kids together from all over the country at this conference, and if they can start connecting with each other online. Teenagers love social media. If we can get them on there, they can get to know each other. Maybe they'll make friendships. And some people actually use them for those purposes. And you can see what people's opinions are about speakers. But most people don't use them for real purposes, right? What are they doing? They're creating fake accounts. If not, Dwight Schrute is here. You know, Michael Scott is here at this conference because they're on there. And I was surprised to see them. I thought they were fictional characters, but they can't be because then it's on the internet and they're real on that activity stream. And so you have all that on there. And so people use that stuff, which could be a great tool, which is for a lot of you. A lot of you have some great relationships, great times with friends on there, but it can be used in such a negative way, right? How many of you say you know someone who's really been put down on social media? You know? I remember seeing something like, why don't you just go kill yourself? Why, you know, no one likes you anyway. You know, you're such a dumb blank. Right? You see that stuff all the time. Right? And people put that stuff out there. Something that was intended for just a way to get people connected can be something that can be used as such a tool. The problem is, you guys have such access to it. What did it say? Like 80-some% of you have cell phones, smartphones. Okay. So this is what I saw a definition online. I didn't want to use the Wikipedia definition because I'm like not some kind of hack and I'm a little bit smarter than that. But here's the definition that I saw for cyberbullying. It occurs when a child or teen uses the internet, emails. How many of you have sent an email this week? Oh, how many of you have actually sent emails? Does it have to do with college? Yeah, okay. So put your hand down, about to do with college. What are the other emails for? What would you send an email for? Go ahead.
A friend.
A friend. So you email a friend. Oh, that's so cool. All right. Text messaging. How many of you sent a text message today? Or this week?
In the past hour.
Okay, cool.
Or 5 seconds.
So you can tell that this definition is old because it says instant messaging. No one really refers to that anymore. Social media websites. How many of you have checked your social media websites today? Okay, right? So you use that all the time. Online forums, you know, maybe you talk about the chat rooms, dangerous, all you know, all that stuff. Or other digital technology. Now here's the point. To harass, threaten, or humiliate another child or teen. When you use those tools to harass, threaten, or humiliate another child or teen. Let me ask you a question. Why do you think some people pick on each other? I don't know if there's a right answer, but go ahead.
Because they think it's fun and it's really
Okay.
fun.
Yeah. Well, at that time, have you ever picked on someone and felt like, oh, this is kind of fun? I have. You know, we sit around with a group of friends. In fact, last night I was just sitting around with some adults and we were picking on each other a little bit. I kind of enjoyed it. You know, I did. It kind of was a fun thing because you try to see what kind of roasting you can get in there, right? You try to see what kind of jabs you can get in there, how clever you can be, you know? It got to the point where I almost made fun of my friend for his PTSD, but I stopped short. Okay. No, I'm just kidding. He told me to, but I wouldn't do it. He was okay. I'm like, no, okay, it's too far. Okay. So, but like, sometimes people do it for that. What's another reason why people would do something like this? Go ahead. Maybe feel insecure. If I feel bad about myself, I'll make someone else feel bad about me. Okay, go ahead.
They were told to do it.
Okay, so someone told them to do it, say, hey, you know, we're all going to get online and pick on this person or something like that. Is that what you mean? Yeah. And so they feel like the pressure is part of their friend group if they don't get on there and, you know, maybe it's very possible, right? Go ahead.
They're trying to fit in.
Trying to fit in. They're looking for their spot, right? It's like, I want to fit in. Go ahead.
Feel like competition or jealousy.
Competition or jealousy. Yeah, that's good. They think they're better than everyone, right? I mean, seriously, people pick on other people because they don't have as nice a shoe, the right brand of shoes, right? People pick on, I mean, how dumb is that? I mean, seriously. People pick on each other and say, oh, really? You have a lame phone. Mine's a nice phone. People pick on each other because maybe what kind of longboard they have. I don't know.
It's so expensive.
Okay, well, we can talk about economics later. Okay. All right, let's go to the next thing. Okay. Here's some reasons why it's so prevalent and dangerous, okay? Here's a difference between, because people pick on each other from the beginning of time, right? Even in the Bible, people picked on each other. Those kids are harassing, was it Elisha or Elijah? Okay, he said, go ahead, old bald head. And then God sent the bears out and ate the kids. It's a great story. It's in the Bible. People picked on each other forever. Even John, when he wrote the Bible, you know, John wrote the Bible. Sometimes read the story about John's account to Jesus, right? It says they ran to the tomb to see the empty tomb. It says Peter ran with the other disciple and talking about himself. But he made sure he put in there that he beat Peter to race to the tomb. I mean, people have been picking on each other forever. So here's some reasons why, but now we have it all digital, right? Here's some reasons why. Anyone can do it. Anyone can pick on somebody on there. You can get online right now, and you can say whatever you want to anybody, right? I mean, there might be consequences, but you can. And so some people you can make up a fake account, and people do that. And they just sit on there and they can say whatever they want. You don't have to be big or strong. Like, you don't have to have some kind of social clout. You don't have to have a group of friends. You don't have to have an entourage. Anybody can pick on anybody, right? It doesn't matter if your arms are big or small. It doesn't matter if you're tough or not. You can pick on anybody. So anybody can do it. So you can be a 13-year-old kid and harass a 25-year-old, right? Anybody can do it. And you don't have to do it face to face. So when I picked on my friend Bob after school, I felt the effect of picking on him face to face. He would pummel me, and it hurt. And that's probably explains a lot of why I am the way I am today. But I felt the pain of that, right? I felt the effect of that. Online, you can just go on there and say whatever you want. And even the people who know you sometimes, you feel like there's this like internet tough guy kind of thing where it's like, I can say what I want because what are they going to say to me? They're just going to start arguing online. Okay, look at the next one. It can happen at any time of the day. You could have been bullied at 3 o'clock this morning. You could be listening to a session this morning, hearing someone's story, listen to Jackie Hill Perry this morning. It's going to be awesome. You can listen to that. And at the same time saying, listen up, you stupid, whatever you're doing, right? You know, why do you have to be so ugly? You can say whatever you want. Why are you always bothering? Don't you know no one likes you? Go find your own group of friends. You can do that just like that. It can happen at any time. And it's hard to escape because of that. So you can think, I just gotta want to go to momentum and experience who God is and all that stuff, and it's just hard to get away from it. And another reason why it's so hard is silence. A lot of people who get picked on, they don't want to admit to anybody. They don't want to tell their parents they're getting picked on because they're afraid that they tell their parents might take away their internet. Right? Because they want to protect them. So they keep it quiet. Okay, we gotta keep running here. Okay, so it doesn't matter boys or girls. Here's some trends or tendencies would have to happen. Of course, these are not universal, but boys tend to bully by sexting, sending messages of a sexual nature. If you like me, you'll do this, or come on, you'll do this. Everybody's doing it. Or with messages that threaten physical harm. Girls, they tend to cyberbully by spreading lies or rumors, exposing secrets. Oh, I know who she likes. I saw her, whatever. Or by excluding from text or Snapchats. That's a classic one right there. I'll just kick you out of the group. I'll just kick you out of the group text, right? Or I just want to include you in this, right? That's what happens all the time. You guys are harassed like that all the time. And some of you are kings of this. And so my point of this today is, you can find out as much information you want about cyberbullying online. You can go to your school, because I'm sure they'll talk to you about it. They sometimes care about bullying more than other stuff, whatever. You'll hear about all that stuff. But my point is, if we are Christ followers, don't you think we should be held to a different standard with how we live our lives? It's really easy to talk about acting godly. Some of us are going to go out into the streets of Indianapolis or wherever tomorrow and try to talk to people about Jesus, why they need Jesus in their life. We saw that yesterday, right? When a person turns into an atheist, we just want to, boo them down and all that stuff and forget that we want to treat them as loving people. The thing is, though, we as Christians, we should be caring about how we feel. Another thing about the cyberbullying makes it sort of hard is you can be the victim and the aggressor. And then back and forth, you can always switch. One minute you're harassed, and then all of a sudden you turn around and harass. You can just keep going back and forth like a tennis match. So I want to dig into the Bible a little bit, and here's a couple things to think about. So if you're feeling this way, or if you have a friend who's getting harassed, I want you to a couple things for us to remember. Okay, the Bible's important. Oh, sorry about that. That was an extra thing. Okay. Listen what the Bible says in Psalm chapter 3, verse 5 through 6. If any of you, maybe you're not even being bullied or anything like that, but maybe if you ever feel like you're having a tough day, look at this one. Someone want to read that out loud? Okay. I lie down and sleep. I wake again because the Lord sustains me. I will not fear though tens of thousands assail me on every side. The God who had David's back has got your back. Okay? I know sometimes you can feel like you're all alone, and something that, don't you think the enemy, the devil, would want you to feel lonely? You know, the devil's not trying to convert you to some guy dressed all in black, writing 666 everywhere and having devil's horns sticking out your tongue all the time. The devil's not trying to get you to start drinking cat's blood. You know what the devil wants you to do? He wants you to feel lonely. Because when you feel lonely and you feel down, you're not going to feel real motivated to love people for Jesus, right? I lie down and sleep. I wake again because the Lord sustains me. The Lord has got your back. We're hearing a lot about fixing our eyes on who Jesus says, right? You heard about that from Keith the other day. Fixing your eyes on Him. Where are your eyes fixed? Where are you looking to for help? The problem is a lot of us, we get picked on, or it bothers us so much is because we're looking for those people to satisfy our needs. When we get kicked out of a group text, we feel destroyed because our whole life is built upon if that group likes me or not. And what I'm saying is, forget that stuff. And I know it's hard. Loneliness is hard. But man, with the God that we can follow, look what He can do for us. Okay, look at the next one. Be strong and courageous. Do not fear or be in dread of them. I love that word, dread. Okay. For it is the Lord your God who goes with you. He will not leave you or forsake you. The same God who you worshiped last night by singing, and some of you raised your hands to, right? He is with you when you leave this place. So when you're being picked on online, when you're being harassed by people, when you're being mistreated, none of that stuff's right. But remember, He's got your back, okay? And so what's the big deal? Why does it matter? And some of you are kings of this. Some of you are probably people who do it all the time. You harass people. You say things you shouldn't say. Here's the big deal. 1 John 2:9 says this. Whoever says he is in the light as a follower of Jesus and hates his brother is still in darkness. If you're a person who harasses other people, I want you to think about this. If you're a person who just says, I hate that person, they're annoying, I'm going to disregard them, I'm going to cut them out of my life, I'm going to put them down, I'm going to make sure that they get picked up, because I don't want them to come with us today to go play Giant Square in here. I don't want them to sit with us at lunch. Ooh, I don't want them to be, I wish they were even part of our group. I wish they'd go find another group. If that's you, I want you to think about this verse. Whoever says he's in the light, says, hey, I'm a follower of Jesus, and hates his brother, you really need to ask yourself, am I even really a follower? Why in the world would Christian people get joy out of putting others down? So if you're a person who's being harassed and hurt, hang on, because God's got your back. If you're a harasser, if you're someone who's hurting other people, you need to take a long relationship with the Lord. Just because everybody else is doing it, that doesn't mean it's acceptable to God. It's so easy to say, I love Jesus, He's great, and it's so in another breath, make fun of somebody. Now there's one thing just picking with your friends and stuff. We all move around, right? You know, I mean, I can tell you, I get the ball jokes and all stuff, and that's actually kind of fun. It's fun, right? And I don't mind that at all. But it's like, but when we keep going after someone where we know we can really get cut them deep, right? So it's like, oh, you can go ahead, pick on me for being bald, but if you pick on me for the kind of husband I am, then that would really hurt me, right? There's some things that would really hurt me. Okay, go to the next one. Ephesians 4:29. This is what's written. It says, let no corrupting talk come out of your mouths, but only such as is good for building up, as it fits the occasion, that it may give grace to those who hear. So when you think about your Christian friends, do you think of them more as being people who build you up, or tear you down like everybody else? Do you feel like when you come to youth group, you've got to be like, you got to be on your toes to make sure that you don't do anything silly because you don't want to be the one who gets made fun of? You feel like you have that pressure this week at Momentum to kind of toe the line so that because you don't want to stand out? Or do you feel like your Christian friends, they build you up? When's the last time you, as a follower of Jesus, told someone something about them that you really appreciated? Not about their shoes or their haircut, but something about them as a person that you really appreciated. I can remember specific things that I heard as a kid where a person told me encouraging things. I'm 44 years old. I remember being 14 years old hearing different things. Someone told me, hey, you should do this. You're really good at this. I see this in you. What if we as Christians would start building each other up instead of tearing each other down, okay? Some of you are like, hey, listen, I'm being picked on here. Well, here's the thing. Like I said before, the victim often turns into the aggressor, right? Because rarely what happens do we say, okay, oh, so you said something and I'm done. Okay, so here's what not to do. If you're being bullied, being picked on, harassed, and all of us will be here maybe at some point, sometimes the best thing to do is just don't respond at all. Because what happens is we let other people sin make us sin. If someone calls me fat and ugly, right, and I turn around and call them, hairy and skinny, and picking on the back and forth, I'm just as bad then, right? Right? Just because someone did it to me first doesn't give me the right to do it to someone else. If I'm a Christ follower, I don't have the right to just go shout down someone else. Imagine if Jesus did that. Someone smacked Jesus on the way as he's getting ready to go get crucified. He just turned around and smacks it back. Someone goes up there, you go put the nails on his hands. He's like, oh yeah, here, nails for you. His mind, he's like, woo, 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 with the nails through the crosses. Wouldn't have quite the same story, would it? It wouldn't have quite the same story. It's like, imagine Jesus, listen. They're saying, who are you? Look at you, King of the Jews. He's like, yeah, well, you went to bed as a kid, then boom, roasted. And if he starts doing that to people, right? It wouldn't be quite the same. It wouldn't have the same effect. Listen, what made Jesus so amazing is he was harassed, beat down by people who he created. And he looked at them. And some of his last words were what? Father, forgive them. They don't know what they're doing. He's being picked on while he's on the cross. There's a guy who's over there laughing at him and mocking him down. Jesus didn't say. We'll see who's laughing a little bit here, buddy. When you're in hell. He didn't say that, right? He could have. He could have put him down, but he didn't. He didn't go back to him. The other thing is don't take revenge, okay? All right, so don't take revenge. All right. So here's what you could do. And this is really hard. That's why when someone, I think it was Keith was talking about the other day, talking about the difficulty of the spiritual journey. How following Jesus is hard. This is what makes following. When people say, oh, being a Christian, that sounds too easy. You just believe and you go to heaven? This is what I'm sorry. It says you've heard that it was said, love your neighbor and hate your enemy. That's what people would have, I would say that's normal, right? I mean, think about how people view terrorists. I see a lot of Christian people say, I love terrorists, I'm praying for them, right? I'm not saying you love what they do. How many people are, people look at people who are different forever, right? History of racism and things like that. People are used to loving people who they like, who are nice to them, loving their neighbor and hating their best. That's what Jesus says. But I tell you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. What would happen if instead of letting that other person who's giving you a hard time, that group of people who's harassing you, who's bullying you, what would happen instead of looking at them and saying, how can I get them back? Or instead of thinking vindictive thoughts about them, instead of plotting your next steps to get for their demise, instead of having a picture on a dartboard and filling with holes, right? What if you as a Christ follower, who once was far from God, what if you prayed for them instead? Oh, Brad, that sounds so easy. Pray for them. Come on, that's not really going to help the situation. Well, I'm not saying to tell you to do anything I don't think that Jesus isn't telling you to do. It's easy to love people who are nice to you, right? I mean, it's easy to love my kids, right? Because they're my kids. It's easy to love people who say nice things to me. Oh, Brad, you're really snazzy aggressive. Oh, okay. I like that person. It's easy to be nice to them. It's easy to be nice to my friends who take me places, right? I had a friend buy me dinner the other day. Well, it's easy to be nice to them, right? Somehow we as Christians think, well, if I'm nice to my friends, I'm good because I can still be mean and nasty to other people. No, Jesus that's what everybody does. He said, even the pagans. And if you're great only on your own, if you greet only your own people, look at the last two verses. What are you doing more than others? Do not even pagans do that? Don't even people who don't know Jesus? It's good you love people. So when Christians harass atheists, or when 8th graders put down other 8th graders, in your own youth group, in your own church? When 12th graders think, I'm going to make sure those freshies pay because I was picked on as a kid, I'm going to make sure they feel the wrath. You know, I'm going to duct tape whatever I want to, okay? When you think those kind of things? I mean, are we being any better than people who are far from God? The answer, of course, is no. So that's one thing. Next thing. This is Psalm 1 is a great thing because Psalm 1 basically says there's two kinds of people in this world. There's godly and ungodly. The godly people, it says, blessed is the one who does not walk in the step of the wicked or stand in the way that sinners take or sit and come in auction, but it says, but whose delight is in the law of the Lord. Those law I meditate stay in night. My thing with this is, so first is praying for the people who hurt you, but then it's meditating on God's word. Because in there you'll find out who God has made you to be. What if you would find your worth from who God is and his perspective of you? And you cared about that more, valued about that more, and value that more than what your peers do. Imagine how much freedom you would have. Imagine if you could walk through school, when you go back to school, whatever it is, in this next month sometime. Sorry about that. But when you walk through those halls, if you weren't worried about where you fit in, if you weren't worried about, well, who's going to ask me out on Friday night to go to the movies with my friends? But if you felt secure enough in yourself because of who the Lord has made you to be, the only way you get there, I'm telling you this, I promise you this, you don't get there by saying mantras or by some self-help group saying you're awesome, you're the best. You get there by meditating on God's word. Because it's in there you find who God is. And it's in there you see what's really worth. You know? Because right now you think, well, the most important thing is that I'm popular. A lot of you do. I'm saying, no, don't worry about that. So here's the thing. If you are being picked on, get help. Talk to an adult. Maybe your youth leader came with you here. Open yourself up and talk to them. Talk to your parents. You know? And then sometimes it's the best thing to do is just run away. No, from home. That'd be bad. Okay? I remember I tried to run away one time. I was like 10. I told my mom I'm going to run away. She goes, okay, then make sure you make a sandwich. I made it down the street and to the tree, you know, it's by our end of our yard. I'm like, well, where am I not seeing? So I went back and I apologized. I mean, I was just mad because I wasn't able to, you know, watch probably like a cartoon or something. Okay. And you don't have to follow people, right? Just get rid of their numbers. And sometimes this is the hardest thing for you to do because I think some of you think that social media or technology is like air, that if you don't have it, you won't live. Some of you feel that way. You're thinking, if I don't have my social media, what would I become? How would I know? And for some of us, we've built it up as such an idol anyway. Maybe some of the best thing for you to do is just take a break from it. If you're not on there, it's hard to be picked on. So if you really find like every time that you get on there, you're feeling, whenever you're done looking at social media, you feel hurt, you feel lonely, you feel disappointed in who you are, you feel less than, why go on there then? Why go on there? It's like sometimes some people go on there, when they get off social media, they just feel jealous because they see all their friends on these great trips and with all this cool stuff, and they have a lame existence, they feel like. Like, if that's why you're getting from social media, then stay off of it. You don't need that. That's too big of a temptation then. If all you want to do is go on social media and argue with people, it's like, I hate this president, I hate this person, whatever it is, then just stay off there because that's not building you up and who God wants you to be. So sometimes the best thing to do is take a break. That might sound like old school. Guess what? You can survive without it. I promise you that. And just try it. Just try it. Maybe say, hey, you know what? Today, for the rest of today, you want to see if technology is too much of an idol to you or social media is too much of a deal to you? Maybe say, okay, for today, for the rest of this week, I'm not going to look at any of my social media feeds. Could you do it? You're like, I can't do that. Then you need to ask yourself, what are you getting from social media? Is it an idol to you? I can't survive without it. Then you're probably a little bit too addicted to it. Okay. All right. Okay, hold on. Hold on. We're done a little early. Hold on. We're not done though. we're done with that part. I wanted to take the time and think about, and we're going to say some questions, good questions, but if not, I have a little exercise for us. Go ahead.
Like you said about one of the last slides about, my
Yeah.
when I was in my early, 10th grade year, a girl was, I've had problems with this girl for a lot of time. And someone told her something that I said about it wasn't true. And she came up to me in the cafeteria during lunch and was cussing me out. And at that time, I looked at her and I said, I don't have anything to say. And she kept pressuring me, kept cussing me out and going like that to me, getting my attention. And then the bell rang for us to get out of lunch and switch classes. And I got up and just walked away. And she was still cussing me out. She said I needed to get back here. I kept walking. She came up to me and kicked me right in the leg. And I had a huge mass in my leg for about a year. And I just graduated this year, and I can say she left me alone after that.
Okay.
Never talked to me once after that.
Yeah, so sometimes it works, right? But there's sometimes you
I mean, I
have
got kicked.
yeah,
but-
right. And there's sometimes you got to bring an adult into the situation. Like when physical harm is a little different than just online, right?
Yeah.
Online, you can just ignore people, right? But when you see people face to face, it makes it a little harder. So listen, you guys are young people. You're still children. If someone is mistreating you or being physically harmful to you, get an adult to intervene in your life. It's not tattletelling, okay? You're a child. Listen, you're a child who's created in God's image and love. Okay? No one has the right to mistreat you that way, physically. Okay? You're still a child. You go to an adult, talk to your parents, ask them what's the best thing. If you don't live with your parents, you live with your grandma, you stay with someone else, then talk to them. Or you talk to, make sure it's a trusted adult, you talk to your youth leader, your church, or something. Talk to your pastor. Get help when it comes to that stuff. Because we don't want you to get physically harmed, right? But the point of it being, though, it's amazing what happens if you don't argue back. I mean, you see that with your parents, right? If you argue with your parents, it usually leads you to get in more trouble, right? It's like if I would just did what I was supposed to do the first time, or I wouldn't have said anything stupid back, right? I mean, it feels good to kind of fire back sometimes. Like, I really told that teacher off, right? It feels good for a second. But then when you get punishment for it, it doesn't feel real good. Okay. Anyone else have a question or a comment? Oh, thanks. Okay. So let me ask you guys a question. Maybe it's from some of this stuff or just yourself. But what do you do? You're on Instagram and you have friends on there, and you see other people, not you, and you're not the victim of this time. You see your friend post something, and maybe it's a post to get attention. Maybe it's a picture of them and a boy saying, "What do you think about us as a couple?" Right? And that's a very awkward thing, I know. And when people start making comments about your friend, and maybe it's even your friends who are doing that, and they start just harassing them. You guys ever see anything like that? You know, they're like, "Oh man, both of you are ugly. I don't know, you're a good fit," or something like that, right? I mean, these are all things I've seen happen. What would you do? What do you think we should do? I don't know if I know the right answer, but go ahead. Let's let her go first, because you already got to talk. Go ahead.
Actually, this happened to my friend before, and she posted a picture, and actually one of my other friends started being really rude with her, so I texted her and I told her to stop. She said that she did it because she was mad at her or something. I can't remember what it was, but I told her to stop anyways, but she still wouldn't stop. So I went to her the next day. I almost threw her phone.
Oh, yeah, that's probably good, yeah. But you stood up for your friend, okay? So that's probably a good idea, right? If you have someone's number, you didn't put her so make not argue the right online, right? Just the next comment down, right? Start a whole arguing war. But instead, you in private texted the person and say, "Hey, you need to stop doing this. You're harassing my friend," right? And then you talk to them. Okay, that's great. That's a pretty good idea. Go ahead.
I kind of do the same thing, message them as an outsider and ask what's going on, and if they keep doing it, I say, hey, this needs to stop. It's not cool. Or report the comments.
And you guys have all seen the effects of cyberbullying, right? I'm sure there's other things that go into things. We see it on the news all the time, even children taking their lives and things like that. And I'm sure there's other things that contribute to all that. But the reality is most people don't get that far, right? But a lot of people feel humiliated in their lives. And a lot of people aren't getting pointed to Jesus because they're too busy putting it down. What's another thing? Any other practical steps? I'm just asking for my own advice now. Because sometimes I don't know what to do. Like my friends argue about other stuff. Like I mean, besides about Facebook or whatever, you just unfollow people so you don't have to see their arguments about politics or about, whatever. Go ahead.
One time I went out with his friends and we all went out to eat quickly and there was like, it wasn't like anything recent, but it was like past like a few years. And as we went to go get something to eat, there was that between two of my close friends who had a disagreement of relationship status of some celebrities. It was something really, really stupid, and I just straight up told them like, if you guys were both followers, like, why are you so attached to idol figures like that? And it opened up their eyes that they just had an argument in a comment section of a celebrity.
Yeah, because sometimes we forget this. You ever see how people would say nasty things about celebrities, forgetting that they're humans, beings just like us, that they're all created in God's image just like the rest of us, that they have feelings and all that stuff too. It's amazing, right? So I would just encourage you guys today, if any of this stuff hits you personally in one way or another, if there's a person who came to your mind when I said about a person bullying you or harassing you, what I would encourage you today is this. Pray for them. I mean, like, really pray for them. Not pray for them, like, Lord, can you please help this person because you know they're such a jerk, or pray that they walk out in front of traffic or something like that. No, not that kind of praying. Or praying that, you don't want them to get, like, dead and pray that they maybe get, like, sick from food poisoning or something like that. I don't know. Don't pray that way. But pray for their heart because God loves them just as much as He loves you. And pray that God will change their hearts so they can find the hope that they're looking for. And then, I'm telling you, the answer to a lot of things in life are found in finding who it is that God has made you to be. And finding your worth in Him. And being reminded of who you are in God. And so I encourage you to pray. But read the Bible, meditate on it, right? But then look for ways that you can take actual things. So if being online is stressing you out, take a break from it. Like, boy, that seems like a lame answer. But why is it such a lame answer? Take a break from it for a little bit. If someone's consistently picking on you, talk to an adult about it. Get advice right away. Listen, the worst thing you can do is try to handle things by yourself. Silence is a horrible thing. Talk to adults. Bring adults in and say, people who you can trust that will hold what you have to say in confidence. They might have better advice for you, all right? There's lots of statistics out there. There's lots of significant stuff. But what I wanted to talk about today, the reason why I want to do all this is I want you to see that how we act, even online or anything like that, our worth is found only in God. It should be found in God. It should be worried about what other people think about us. And the other thing is, that we should treat people the way that God wants us to treat them, okay? I want to pray for us, and then you guys are dismissed. God, thank you for this group of people. Pray, Lord, that if there's anybody who's hurting right now, and Lord, I pray that they feel comforted. Lord, I know what it feels like to be harassed and put down, and it hurts. And Lord, and that's real. And it doesn't mean that we don't get hurt if we're followers of yours, or if we're finding our significance in you. It still hurts. So Lord, I pray right now that you'll comfort them. Lord, if there's anyone who's been really in a difficult situation, Lord, I pray for the people that are picking on them. But I pray, Lord, that they'll have the boldness to talk to an adult and get help. Lord, we love you and thank you in your name we pray. Amen. Thank you. See you guys.